then they certainly know it now. We got a really good welcome, didn't we? Apologies first of all for Franny, our national organiser. A bit of a family problem this morning, and I hope things are all right with him. So I'll just try and fill in for what Franny would probably do. We've got the main speaker, who is Jim Slavin, that you all know, and I'll introduce him in just a minute. But first of all, I'm sure Franny would thank everybody that took part in this parade today. And first of all, he would thank the bands, and that's the Coatbridge Republican Float Band, the Irish Republican Maras, volunteer Martin Docherty, and volunteer Sean McElvenna. He would also thank the Cumin that took part today. And I've seen Wishaw, Garngad, Hamilton, Coatbridge, Central Scotland, to a big thanks goes to they guys, because they put this together today, so well done. And I'm going to put if I've forgotten anybody else, I'll put it down to my inexperience, okay? So thanks to everybody else that I've no mentioned. But last, I would love to thank the stewards today. A lot of work was put into this, and I think the stewards done a remarkable job, and again, thanks very much. And I should really say that we've done it in coordination with the Central Scotland Police Force. And they've been really good. They've been hard work this week, I can tell you, but they've been thorough in their investigations, they've been thorough in their planning, and they've been a big help to us, and I hope that we've been as much help to them, and I think we have been. And there was one incident that took place away at the back. There was a lady that called a groupie as Catholic bastards, and I'm hoping that the police officer that got a hold of her is going to charge her, and there's enough witnesses here, okay? What I would like to do now is pass you across to our main speaker, Jim Slavin.
Thanks, Tommy, for that. Could I just say I'd like to just associate myself with the remarks Tommy's made there about the bands, about the Carja, Cumin and the stewards as well, because I know in the run-up to this there's been a lot of obstacles put in the way Carja, and they've persevered to get a march here in Denny, and there's been an absolutely fantastic turnout today, local people and also people from Carja across the country, and everyone, I thought, conducted themselves with a great deal of dignity in the face of the provocation that they were made to put up with up the road there. So a big thanks to everybody, the stewards as I say in particular. This march today, I think, is significant for a couple of reasons. Firstly, because we are here in Denny, as I say, despite the obstacles that have been put in our way, despite the obvious expressions of anti-Irish racism that we've seen in the build-up to this march and again today, that we're here, we're on the street, and this place, Denny, Central Scotland, all over Scotland where there's Irish communities, Carja are determined that they're going to be representing these people, taking these marches, taking this campaign against anti-Irish racism right round the country until we eradicate it completely. And it's important that we do continue to take the message outside our natural heartlands, because that's what Republicans in Scotland should be doing, breaking new ground. That's what we've been doing, not just with marches in different areas, but indeed with the whole debate about anti-Irish racism. For the 20 odd years the Republicans have been campaigning against anti-Irish racism, people I think need to just take a step back and think how far we've come. Sure, we've still got problems in Scottish society. Nobody ever imagined we were going to eradicate these problems overnight. But 20 years ago, 15 years ago, even 10 years ago, not only did people dispute the idea of anti-Irish racism, people disputed that there was an Irish community in Scotland. Now these things are taken as read, and that's down to the work that Republicans have done, sometimes lonely work, Republicans marching in places like Denny, all over Scotland, demanding equality for our community, and we'll continue to do that. And just briefly, in terms of the politics that's going on just now, which make this march, I think, very timely indeed. All the furore that goes on around particular issues that grab the media's attention, what they've shown us that strategically Republicans were right 12 years ago to engage with the Scottish Executive at the time in a discussion about discrimination facing the Irish community. We did so not on the basis that we represented the whole community, but on the basis that Republicans were taking a lead on an issue which nobody else, particularly not the middle classes, wanted to deal with in this country. And we knew that if we could achieve our strategic objective of getting the executive, getting the government and the state in this country to acknowledge there was a problem, then we could discuss the nature of the problem and how we go about resolving it. And that's where we are today. Now, we always knew that we would make alliances along the way. We knew once there was some momentum built, people would join in. I didn't think we quite expected right-wing composers and Tory solicitors to be the ones that would jump on to the bandwagon. But we welcome them, because we welcome all people from our community who rally to the cry of equality for the Irish community in Scotland. Our task is to make sure in this crucial period where there is a period of flux and confusion with our opponents, including the police, including the Scottish Government, about how they're going to deal with this, because the genie's out the bottle and they can't put it back in, because we're not going to the back of the bus. We're driving the bus. We're saying Republicans, all these people here today, the people who have passed through flute bands and IRA support groups and prisoners groups all through the years, we're setting the agenda in this country, and we're not going back to being quiet and keeping our heads down anymore. This is the time for Republicans to get around Scotland and to be articulating the argument for equality for the Irish, but also remembering the class dimension to this. Republicans have to be the one making that argument, because we are the only ones in this debate that have an analysis of the British state that leads us to the conclusion that we didn't just need reform of the SFA. What we need is a whole restructuring of society. We need the most radical change imaginable. That's why we're Republicans. So thanks everyone for coming along today, and I'll see you again very soon.
Thanks very much for that, Jim. Just as good as he always is, Doesn't hold back. Just a couple of wee housekeeping issues just before we disperse. It's important that when we break up that we leave in that direction and we go round here. The coaches will be waiting for us, and we'll board the coaches immediately, and then we'll be escorted to the motorway. Anybody who didn't come in coaches, I would still ask you to leave that way and then take your instructions for the police. I would like to say to the locals who probably came here hoofing it, be safe. Just watch what you're doing as you go back to your own sort of comfort zones. Don't react to any harassment that you might get for the other side, and have a good day, but be safe, and thanks very much for putting this together. So lastly, can I ask everybody to be at attention with a volunteer, Sean McElvenna, will play our anthem.